Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Story Reckless. Thank you for joining us this evening. I am Nathan. I am your DM, and I use he, him pronouns. And I would like to pass it over to our players so they can give their short intros.
My name's Claire. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm playing.
Who are you playing, Claire?
What?
Please tell us.
Little creature.
D-
Goblin Ranger. Okay, here we are.
And my name is Olive. I use she and they pronouns, and I'm playing Lovelace, Centaur Landscaper.
Okay. I can maybe see that.
Yeah. I could be a rover. I could be running away from all my responsibilities and leaving my friends to deal with the consequences.
These are all.
That's an option
I think there's a
available to you.
compound word for that in German, maybe.
Yeah, probably. Real quick, Claire, did you just forget who you were playing, or what happened there? What was
Well,
that?
I almost said that I was Kadam, but
With-
clearly that's not the case.
Something interesting happened with Kadam's voice.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, anyways, thank you everybody for joining us. And yeah, let's do a little recap here as we jump right into this. This will likely be our last episode of this arc, this adventure, and then we will be moving on to new things. We're still kind of working out what exactly that might be because we really only have like 3 weeks left until I'm gone for the wedding and then other things. So yeah, we're trying to figure it out. We might be doing some games or something. We'll see. All right.
Let's play games.
Yeah, let's play games. Other games, different games.
Other
Isn't
games.
that wild?
Other
Wow.
games.
All right. Well, with all that, let's jump into the story, shall we? So, last time we left off, Lovelace and Little Creature had just dealt with this corruption, this blight on the forest to the south, destroying some sort of almost cancerous growth coming out of a well in an abandoned knoll village. Upon feeling satisfied that it was gone, and doing a bit of poking around throughout the village, finding some odd things, you found a fan, you found some artwork, you found some bags of grain, random things. You decided to head back north towards the center of the woods. Lovelace was seeing the pulsing light of this network that she keeps seeing in her dreams and even in her waking life more and more these days. And upon closing her eyes, she saw this pulsing light heading north. Heading into the forest, you eventually came out of the blighted section into the lush summer growth of the Wood of Sharp Teeth. You started to hear the sound of insects and birds once more. You had to actually push into the night a bit to get to this restful point, and upon falling asleep within a crook of a tree and some soft moss, you were awoken in the middle of the night from a great earthquake and a feeling of dread coming over Little Creature, and Lovelace seeing that pulsing trail of light almost rapidly beating like some kind of heart in distress. Unsure of what exactly happened, Lovelace did receive a quick message ascending from her friend, but in her kind of dazed state was unable to pick up exactly what the words were. You headed north towards the center in the morning. You met a maybe friend? Perrin?
Definitely a friend.
Yes, Perrin, a live elven man with dark skin that was just resting up in a tree, kind of following and stalking you, a little interested in you, and then told Lovelace that she was lucky she had good friends, and kind of gave a smile and walked away with almost feral-like eyes watching you.
We are fascinating creatures.
Truly.
He also wasn't wearing pants.
That's true. He was naked. He was.
Neither are you.
Well, you're not wrong.
Yeah, you're just, as my one friend would always say, you're poo bearing it around. Just, you know. Anyways, so, yes, Perrin was just fully naked. No poo bear. But you kept following this pole, Lovelace, and as the sun started to go down, you heard the faint chiming of bells in the forest, and you came upon a small game trail, and you saw a procession of elves making their way down this trail. Little creature recognized them, just kind of waved, but they were curious to speak with you. You found out they were known as the Dead Ringers, I believe they introduced themselves as, and they commune with the dead beneath your feet and keep them, they ring their bells to keep them at ease. They also revealed for a small exchange, they could directly commune with a spirit, so if you so wish. And Lovelace, you gave them the tale, the story of you encountering that Knoll mother when you first entered the Wood of Sharp Teeth, the one that unfortunately was slain by you and the hobgoblin, leaving behind the pups. You gave away your pike. It was returned to the earth, and the soul, the ghostly image of this Knoll appeared before you, and you were able to commune with it. Finding out that her tribe, her community has been suffering, and something has been plaguing them, and that she believes that if Ultok, the leader of this tribe, were to be removed in some way, that her mate could be saved. And she asked you to find the pups. As her spirit returned back to the earth, you were a bit conflicted on what to do next, but feeling that strong pull towards the north, you decided to continue going towards that presence to find out answers, and maybe perhaps afterwards you'll head south back towards the Knolls. So, with that, I'll turn it over to the players as the two of you are going through the woods. I know you're heading north, but do either of you want to say anything in this moment or do anything in particular? Otherwise, we'll just continue.
I think Lovelace keeps reaching for her pike and then like finding it missing, and just like absentmindedly, just like whenever her mind starts to wander, she'd usually like rest her hand on kind of the haft of it, and feels like awkward now, just because like she's had it for so long. I don't know if little creature notices this or is distracted by like bugs or anything.
Well, I think I am telling you about all of the recent times that I have hung out with the elves and how cool they are, and I do notice that you keep reaching for where your pike usually is, and at some point I just kind of grab your hand and hold it just to see what you do with that as I keep talking about the village.
I think Lovelace tenses and then slowly relaxes over the course of however long you hold her hand.
I figured I'm riding on you still because walking is exhausting.
Yeah, I was.
Oh, that's
So I'm leaning forward a little bit here.
okay. I think this gets uncomfortable for a bit, and like after a while, like Lovelace gives like a little squeeze. You're like, okay, we're done now.
Okay, we can be done now.
And then like brings her hand back forward.
Oh, that's cute. So the little goblin of little creature reaching forward and holding hands with Lovelace the centaur, and they'll eventually you just and let go.
Little creature's still big, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you continue northward. The sun has been kind of setting. It's like twilight when you encountered these elves, and eventually, it does drop below the horizon, and you can start to see the glint of stars through the trees above in the little patches that are available. It does start to get very dark in here, but periodically there is light as little lightning bugs are lighting up the forest around you. As you're moving through the dark for a bit, unless you would wish to stop right away, but as you continue moving through the dark, Lovelace, you get this uneasy feeling starting to wash over you. Like little jolts of fear. Like the hair on the back of your neck kind of stands up every once in a while and then settles. And you feel this sense of being watched. You kind of, but whenever you look in the direction of where you think it may be, nothing is there. Maybe you're having some flashbacks to being back in Vermilion. This only lasts for maybe half an hour or so. And every time you close your eyes, you see that light very clearly now, and very strongly, that path leading forward with the roots trailing out from around it. But after about a half an hour, this feeling just starts to subside, and then it seems to almost switch into a feeling of warmth and comfort. What do you think you're doing in this moment? Like, how do you think you're processing it? Like, you're having these emotions which are kind of coming at you unexpectedly, and you're having to contend with them. But then they switch into this feeling of relaxation and warmth. But I mean, what is?
I think. Okay, so first, when Lovelace feels like she's being watched, she's like glancing around. She like reaches for a pike again, finds it gone. And he says, "Little creature, do you think Perrin might be following us? I feel like we're being watched."
I mean, he might be.
Okay. And just like kind of like grunts and keeps going. And when it turns to warmth, I think she feels warmth, but just like when little creature reached for her hand a minute ago, she tenses up. It's like, this is feels good and I don't like it.
You are so weird. You know that, right?
You keep telling me that, little creature.
Good things feel nice. You're supposed to like good things that feel nice.
So like good things. Who says I'm supposed to?
Me.
What if that's just how they try to keep you to do what they want?
What do I want you to do?
I don't know what you want me to do. What do you want me to? I know what you want. I think I'm not worried about you. But
Okay.
there's never anything just nice.
Did you not like my hat?
Your hat was nice. Your hat was nice.
Yeah. There wasn't anything bad about it. It was just pretty.
Until it died. All nice things end.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean that they're not nice while they're there.
But losing things is sad.
Yeah.
So why have nice things if it's just going to bring you sadness?
Because they're nice to have? Like, what do you like? Do you want bad things? Because bad things end too, and then it feels nice when they're gone.
That's true. That's true. Maybe we should just go sleep in those briars over there.
No, that sounds bad.
Yeah, that does. Hey, let's how much further are we? Do you think?
I just don't know what to think about you. What How does your brain work?
I don't know what to tell you, little creature. Things are different here. You're weird to me.
I suppose that makes sense.
Yeah.
Cities sound really confusing, and you're from a city.
Yes, it's probably just because I'm from a city.
If you stayed here, maybe things would make more sense to you in how I see things.
Do things need to make sense?
No, but you seem very concerned with everything making sense and being in a specific order, and you think a lot. I think you would think less if you hung out with me more.
I had a friend once who told me I needed to think more, consider my actions.
Well, I guess that's an option, but that sounds stressful.
Yeah. Much easier to not think and just walk away.
But then you leave the nice things.
I think we can draw the scene.
Anyway.
As you contemplate that, little
Just
creature,
talking around in circles.
Yeah.
as you contemplate that little creature, you kind of look up ahead where you see a couple of those lightning bugs light up, and in the gloom, you recognize this kind of sloping hill that comes up out of the forest, just up ahead, with a thick batch of trees growing on, like, up and around it.
Okay. We're almost there.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah, this is the hill.
You look ahead,
I
Lovelace,
consider
and
the hill.
you just see this like hill in front of you. Maybe it goes up about, I don't know, 20 or 30 feet, just kind of gently sloping up, a bit steep at the top, and there's a collection of trees growing at the peak, and it's just covered in like thick brush with little lightning bugs going off around it.
This is the center.
Mhm.
Looks a lot like all the other hills.
Yeah, it's been here a long time. Most hills have, you know? Hello? I'm back.
Lovelace, you start to see with your waking eyes the tendrils of light under you, and they're all kind of coursing through. They aren't constant. It's like you see glimpses of it, and they're kind of coursing through and up over this hill, and on the other side of it there's just a faint glow that's kind of
I think Lovelace starts trotting up this hill.
okay. All right.
I see something. It's glowing.
Uh-huh.
Little creature, do you follow or?
Oh, I'm still on her back.
Oh, right. That's right. I forgot.
I am going.
Okay.
You expect me to carry you up this hill? You're like 100 pounds.
All right. So, Lovelace, you trod forward, kind of pushing your way up through the dirt. It's a little steep towards the top, and as you crest over the edge, you find yourself at the top of this hill, looking into kind of like it's almost like a big sea that this hill forms. Like it's like a collection of small hills that form this like sea, and in the center of it, you see a tree. You've seen a tree like this before. You see. I mean, I would think most individuals would regard this as beautiful. Whether Lovelace does or not is up to you. But It is... It has a wide trunk that goes up not terribly far, maybe only 15 feet or so, before it just branches out into one of the widest, like a large, like valley oak, if you're familiar with those in California, just massive branches that extend out, and it is wide, like a big flower almost, with these big, thick branches. And the tree itself, as it goes up towards the top, becomes almost this strange, translucent blue-green, the same color as this network that you've been seeing below you. And you see all of these roots and lines pulsing into the center of this tree and up into its branches and out. And as the branches continue up towards the sky above, where there are no leaves, just the stars above, surrounded by all these trees, the thin branches just seem to almost come to their points and slowly disappear into nothing. And it is just constantly pulsing like a heartbeat.
Oh my. That's a sight. Little creature.
Mm.
You know how I said I hit a tree once, and that's when all this started?
Uh-huh.
Looked a lot like this one.
Oh.
That could explain some things.
Yeah.
Can I touch it? Do you think that that's a good idea?
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend hitting it.
Yeah, I
What
learned my
is-
lesson the first time.
A tree.
And Lovelace starts trotting down,
Okay.
and is going to go and try to rest her hand.
Okay. So
Trunk
you
of this.
kind of slide down the other side of this hill, the leaves kind of pushing out in front of your hooves. And as you come to the bottom, and you trot up to the base of this tree, this wide trunk. And at the base of it, it almost does look like bark, but you just see all these lines of light running through it, and then it just gradually, like a gradient, turns into this strange, ethereal looking tree. You want to touch it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. You reach out, place a hand on it, and you immediately start to see light just channeling up through your arm, and these wisps kind of encircling your arm like a weave of some sort. And then you feel the ground beneath you kind of start to vibrate very gently. You hear a sound behind you. What do you do?
Turn around slowly.
Okay. As you slowly turn around, hearing this, you turn and look at the hill you just came down, and you see that the base of it is starting to lift, and dirt is starting to crumble off of it, and plants sort of swaying, and the trees on top starting to sway as this entire collection of hills begins to shift and move.
Maybe touching it wasn't a good idea.
You hear this impossibly low grumble as it rises up, and these earthen mounds lift into the air. And what you once thought was just a collection of hills protecting this small tree reveals itself to be a serpent-like dragon over 300 feet in length from snout to tip of tail. As it rises, you can see earth, moss, saplings all cling to the surface of this massive creature. There are infinitely complex striations of green and brown that run through its leathery skin, which is being illuminated by this tree and periodic lightning bugs just around him. You see like a collection of lightning bugs just all scatter and into the air, revealing a long muscular neck with trees and moss and roots all coming off of it. Trailing from the underside of the dragon as it lifts and dirt peels away, and its head kind of turns a bit as its neck lifts up from the earth. You see barbels coming out from the underside of the neck all along the bottom. Barbels like on a catfish, right? Like little tendrils. And they are all pulsing with that same ethereal light. You can see that many of them are running straight into the earth below the dragon like a root system. Sprouting from the head as it kind of adjusts towards you with dirt crumbling off the side of it, you see that there are two gnarled trees that come off the top of it that almost look like antlers, rising out like just above the eye line. And there is light as well coursing through these trees. As the head kind of comes to a rest, coming closer to you, you watch as a massive eye, nearly the size of you, of a person, peels open. And the iris focuses in on the both of you. You can see the iris is teal and gently humming with energy. And this being looks at you with a great amount of intelligence and curiosity. What do you do? Either of you, I guess.
I think Lovelace is frozen in fear.
Hi. Sorry.
Hello, little friend. And the eye turns and looks towards you, Lovelace. And you can see that the mouth is opening to create these words, but you just see the underside almost undulating with each breath of air, and the reverberation of the voice just carries through the earth and up through your body. And you are the one I've sensed. Are you not?
I can't say.
Well, this one here, the eye turns to look at little creature, seems to have a certain amount of trust in you. Have you seen the roots?
Lovelace glances down at the tendrils of light.
Tell me, why are you here?
I want to know what is happening to me. What is all this?
You have become one with the great cycle. I can see it now, coursing through you. You are
I
connected.
feel like I deserve this.
Well, the cycle does not pick those based on merit. It merely happens sometimes. And you seem to be one that has survived and become entwined. What do you intend to do with this connection?
Return it if I can.
Ah, you wish to give up this connection.
I do.
That's disappointing. And a bunch of leaves just from the nostrils kind of huffing. And the head slowly lifts, kind of careens to get a closer look at you.
I feel like I took what did not belong to me.
Tell me your story. How did you become entwined with the cycle?
I was sent out into the mountains north of Baldur's Gate with equipment, adamantium hammer, nails, following tales of some sort of font of magical elixir, something that could help you live forever, heal people. I found the tree, and the person who sent me is not a good person. I worked and still have sometimes worked for her since. I tapped that tree, nailing a sill into it. And when my hammer struck, a bolt of lightning coursed through me. Holds up her hand, and part of one of her fingers is actually missing, her ring finger. And then pulls back her sleeve, and there's kind of this dendritic pattern kind of etched into her skin. Pulls the sleeve back down. The tree didn't survive. When I woke up, it was just burnt. There was some elixir in the bucket, which I returned to the benefactor, but I've had this feeling that I committed an act of violence.
You're not wrong. But what is done, and you are not taking from this font as of now. And I'm afraid you will not be able to give back what you have taken. You are part of the cycle, whether you like it or not. But now you have choices before you. You can choose to use this to shape the world around you, to protect others, to destroy. It is your choice. If you wish to become more with this cycle, to become one with it, I can offer you this. You would be focusing inward instead of outward.
I want to stop screwing up. I want to stop hurting people.
Then
I
stop.
I don't want to live with these mistakes. I shouldn't be here. Everything's a mess back in the city where I came from. I left people behind. I came here looking for answers. And I've just made more mistakes. And I feel like everything I touch, I destroy. I don't want that anymore. Cycle or no. If I have this power, people are going to just keep getting hurt who don't deserve it. And I'm just going to keep making bad calls and making things worse.
Why do you think that?
Because that's just what keeps happening.
Well, things can change. All things can change. All living things around us go through cycles of change, of death and destruction and returning. Why can you not change?
I don't know how. Do you change much? You look pretty rooted.
I do change. I experience all of the cycles of the world, and I have shrunk much. We have shrunk. All of us. I feel them nibbling around my borders, shrinking me. I've lost much in the eons that have passed. But I find new life, I find new things, and I continually ensure that the cycle continues. So yes, even I change.
Lovelace,
Yeah.
was the first time you ever hurt someone after you drilled into that tree?
No.
So why do you think this makes you hurt people?
People get hurt just more. It's gotten stronger. And I've gotten stronger.
Power is power. You choose how you use it.
Yeah. And I choose bad. Over and over again, and I don't want to.
So choose differently.
Easy to say.
Yeah, it is. I know it's harder to do. do the hard thing.
Thanks for bringing me here.
You're welcome. I kind of feel like I'm in trouble, sort of.
The giant eye swivels and looks at you, little creature. No, you're not in trouble.
Okay.
I know it's been quite some time since you've seen me like this, little one.
Yep.
I thought it appropriate to make my true form known to our guest.
Okay. It's okay. You're just really big.
Yes, I am.
Can you make me smaller again?
Looking down towards you. Oh. Oh. I see. I did. Yes, we felt this. One moment. And out of the earth, a massive clawed hand, dirt trailing off of it, little bits of light coursing through it, and one of the huge claws just gently arcs down towards you, little creature, and just touches your forehead. And they will cast something. But you see light suddenly course through the hand, down through little creature, and little creature, you feel this surge, this surge of endorphins, and you feel your body start to relax, and you watch as your form starts to decrease, and all of that weight is removed. And as the claw lifts away, you see this thin trail of like black liquidy ichor just kind of as it lifts away from your forehead, and it goes into the hand, and it just curls up and closes.
Thank you.
Oh, you're quite welcome. So, Lovelace, you wish not to be part of this.
I think I'm done running away. No way but forward is what I've always said. But maybe there's a way back too. There's all sorts of ways. I want to protect people. I want to fix things.
Well, what I am offering you may help in that. But there are some things that you should understand. Should you choose this path, this inward path, you will become connected more thoroughly to the roots beneath us. You will become connected with all of us. In a sense, I will see things and experience things that you experience. This would bring me great pleasure as I have lost my connection to the world, and I would like to know what is happening. I would like to see the things beyond my boundaries. You should also know that when you become one with us, time will pass over your vessel and it will not age. You will be like us, eternal, a part of this cycle, a part of this world.
Seems strange for someone who talks so much about change
Well,
to have time not touch you.
well, things that are eternal still change and fluctuate and go through cycles.
Remember, I used to be really big.
As
that was a
did
metaphor.
As did I.
I don't know. That's a lot to think about.
You
I don't even know
can
your name.
you can take your time. There is no rush for us.
That sounds awful. To have no rush,
Hmm.
to not die. Okay, little creature, we were just talking about this. Like, good things end. That's how you know that they're good.
No, I don't think that.
No?
No. Good things can exist forever. Most good things end. I mean, like, most things end, right? But, like, I don't know something is yummy until, like, or wait, hold on. I don't
No, I
think that
see what you're
something
saying.
isn't yummy
I see-
until it's gone, you know?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I experience it as yummy while I'm eating it. And afterward, frankly, because then I have, like, the taste in my mouth.
Maybe I'm just too focused on how things turn out.
Maybe.
Yeah.
A good meal's a good meal, though.
All right.
I'm not saying that you should live forever.
Yeah. I don't know about that either. Are there takebacks?
No.
I don't think I want that then.
Very well. It is your choice to make.
All right. I don't think I could bear it. Living forever. You'd have to be a fool to sign up for something like that. No offense. Presumably, I don't know if you chose this. What's your name? I don't even know what to call you.
I've had many names. I was once known as Othimthrax, but there are also those that call me Notavari, and some have come to call me the Wood of Sharp Teeth. You may call me what you like.
All right. Whole creature.
Hmm.
I'm trying very hard not to call this great dragon Woody.
Okay.
That would be a brand new name. I will have to remember that for next time. Hothim Thrax, Notavari, Woody, home.
Ugh. Just all those other ones are a bit much for me.
I mean, Woody works.
Woody
They are
works.
kind of, sort of, a little bit sometimes.
Woody, mind if we sleep here for the night? I don't know what has happened. Maybe you can help. Entering these woods, I killed someone who I shouldn't have. They had kids. I need to go find them. Maybe after, I don't know, I clean up some of the messes that I've made, we can talk more about this.
Why do you say that you should not have ended their life?
Because I didn't understand what was happening. They didn't deserve it.
I see. Do you think that that is how most creatures believe when finding food for themselves?
That's different. Like, this wasn't so I could survive. I wasn't threatened. This was me passing judgment upon the world and using my power.
You do that all the time, though. You
Yeah,
then
I
pass
do.
judgment upon yourself and found yourself wanting.
Yeah. That's what thinking is, isn't it?
Do you think there's anyone who deserves to die?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay.
If they're hurting other people, and there's no other way to get them to stop.
Do you think you deserve to die?
That's a heavy question. I mean, Woody here just asked me if I wanted to live forever, and I was like, no, I'd rather die. So I suppose a little bit.
Huh.
What about you?
Well, do I want to die or do I think I deserve to die?
Second one?
I don't think it's a matter of deserving. I mean, if someone eats me, then someone eats me.
Yeah.
Or like, if you had killed me when you first saw me, well, let's into that.
Yes. Passing judgment on things you do not understand is a problem at times. It has plagued the cycle at the beginning of all things. There are beings that seek to use it, much like you said your patron asked for. So, understanding and knowledge are quite important for all things in order to live in balance and allow things to continue to thrive and for life to continue to exist. Well, if you wish to stay here, you're welcome to as long as you like. And if you do change your mind, you know how to find me.
Just follow the big river of light in the ground. Got it.
Well, I can only guide you when you are close. It becomes more difficult to sense you the further away you are.
All right. I guess I have a lot of work ahead of me. I'm very tired.
Very well. And they will lift their head up, and keeping an eye on you will just slowly lower it back down into this great divot where their head once was, and just kind of nestling down in their upper half of their torso, lying down as well into the divot. And now you can see a bit more clearly defined the form of this creature, but still clinging to the upper parts of its body. There is just a full ecosystem of grasses and mosses and trees growing all along its back. But you are both welcome to rest here, according to Othimthrax or Woody. Which apparently I need to add that name now to my NPC sheet. But yeah. What would the two of you like to do as the Guardian comes to rest?
I think Lovelace just like slumps and lies down and rests her head against the trunk of the tree and like
Okay.
it's a big breath.
I will slide off her back and just run around a little bit and see if I can't catch some lightning bugs and eat them, and maybe find something else to eat. And then, yeah, might as well spend the night here. I'll just curl up in some place and sleep.
Okay. Well, the night comes to a close with a little creature curled up in a small little divot in this hillside next to this massive creature, with Lovelace slumped against the tree, and we can still see the swirling lights around her form as she drifts off into sleep. You both obviously get a long rest. I don't know if you needed anything from that.
So much.
And little creature, your weight is now back to what it used to be.
Okay.
But yeah, your night comes to a close with this tree looming above you. And eventually, the morning light comes through the clearing above, illuminating this glade. And there's definitely the warm summer morning light coming through the trees, but there's still that mingled in the center, that cool ethereal light radiating off of this tree. And as you open your eyes, Lovelace, you can see the form of the dragon there, but with its basically imperceptible movement, even now with a lot of the dirt being kicked away and torn up from it moving, it could blend in and look like the hill, even in this state. But you can see those periodic lines of light coursing through its form.
I'm gonna go find, I think, some water
Mm-hmm.
and just like wash my face. And like, I think Lovelace is just like focusing very much on like tactile sensations,
Mm-hmm.
thinking about nice things being nice instead of being caught up in her head about what she needs to do.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Brings back, I think, little creature. I don't know, like a big old leaf that like has water in it.
Thank you. And I will take it and just dump it on my head. And then I'm going to try and fashion a hat out of the big leaf.
You do
While
so.
you do that, Lovelace will like plop down next to you and start braiding her hair, maybe weaving in some flowers.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be okay.
you see now in the morning light that kind of up higher up on the back of this creature there are some of those pink flowers growing. Some of them have bloomed into their massive size, big enough for a new hat. And then of course there's plenty of other smaller flowers that you could use to braid into your hair.
I will probably also go get one of those big pink flowers and combine it with the leaf so that I have some, particularly broad-brimmed hat.
Okay. Is it like one of those, does it have the little like flap at the back to protect your neck? Like one
Probably.
Probably. But yes, you now have a new flower hat. Well,
Okay. Everything's normal now.
well, in this morning light, as the day kind of comes to, I don't know if we're necessarily gonna play this out much further, but
Yeah.
but Lovelace, what is it you wish to do next? You've decided not to.
Lovelace. Yeah.
You've decided
Sorry.
not to take this guardian up on its offer to become one with this cycle. You are still tethered to it to an extent,
Yeah.
and it still has an ability to communicate with you roughly if you are close enough. But what is it that Lovelace wishes to do after having this experience?
Start cleaning things up, going back, and instead of like the only way is forward, yeah, turn around and be like, whoops, let's go find those cubs. Let's go find Oltak the Knoll, who's like rampaging across the landscape, some kind of like demonic god, and slay them. That sounds fine. While carrying all the pups on my back. I think Lovelace has like, I don't know, a whole spin-off like TV series to go through. I don't know if we need to go through it, but like what I see for Lovelace is having the pain of making mistakes less heavy, in that she feels like she has the power to fix them instead of just walking away, or like it hurts less to, I guess, like turn around and confront that stuff, because I guess just like against this idea of like living with mistakes forever, like that's kind of like what she was choosing anyway. Like, does that make sense? It's
So
just like
instead of
the prospect of just like living with mistakes and like moving forward and like letting them accumulate is horrifying. So like let's work to not make that happen, and just, I don't know, starting at the top, most recent, and then, I mean, her plan is, I mean, who knows if she's gonna get that far? Maybe she'll die and that'll be that.
so
But
she's
then eventually head back to Baldur's Gate.
she's turning to face her past
Yeah.
instead of living forever with those mistakes and moving forward. You're returning to face your past and try to fix those mistakes you've made. Yeah.
And I think doing so in a different way. I think Lovelace is more curious and thoughtful. And maybe like springs into action a little bit less.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, what I will say is, and this will be for us to discuss off stream, but there is a chance that we may want to play out Lovelace going to deal with these cubs and the gnolls, because I do have stuff for that, and it is, I don't know if it's necessarily something I want to just kind of montage off screen, but we can discuss out of stream what that looks like.
Yeah.
But in this
It'd
moment,
be very funny to just like roll into Baldur's Gate in a year or two.
oh my god.
Just like with an eye patch or something that to show that like things have changed. Like maybe like with like a couple of like the gnoll pups, like
Right.
more adolescent now. And just be like, what?
But regardless, with that, in this morning light, as you braid up your hair and finish your morning routine, are you gonna just stand up and start heading south back towards the knolls? Okay.
Yep.
Little creature, what do you do as Lovelace gets up and finishes her morning routine and is getting ready to leave?
Well, I'm gonna go and make Song of the Pileated Woodpecker laugh.
Okay.
So I guess we're heading roughly in the same direction for a little bit.
Okay.
Goodbye, walking the same direction for days.
Yeah, I maybe like to imagine that you say goodbye and you start going in that direction. There's a couple moments where you keep catching each other through the trees. And then, I don't know, little creature, if you would do this, but maybe you just kind of wander back towards Lovelace and just start rambling to Lovelace about stuff. You know, just random.
Can I have one more ride?
I think no. So like when you come back to like Lovelace, like, so like maybe like we're walking, we make eye contact, like we like walk past a rock and it breaks our vision, and then when you come to the other side, like Lovelace isn't there. And if you do come around and like see what's going on, Lovelace is gonna like burst out of like a bush or like behind a couple more big and like
Awesome.
just burst out laughing.
Make a stealth check.
That's
Okay,
fair,
I
yeah.
will.
Yeah, it's fair. We are playing Dungeons and Dragons. I don't think we've rolled a dice once on this specific stream, which, yes, chat, this is a very roleplay heavy episode, so.
Let's go. Stealth check. 13.
You do not surprise little creature.
Lovelace
I know what
is
you're
like
up to.
just like, okay, so Lovelace is just hiding behind one of these big leaves. Like her like horse body like fully visible.
I will try and sneak around and like jump up onto your haunches behind you.
Can you make a stealth check for me?
I can make a stealth check for you.
This will be our closing out the episode with some dice rolls here.
26.
Yeah, so, yeah, Lovelace, as you're sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting, you suddenly feel on your haunches and little creature.
And I just start taking off running.
Yes!
And in that moment, with little creature riding on the back of Lovelace, we see you going off into the forest together. And I think that's where we're going to end tonight as you leave this glade. I think the final thing we see is we hear the hooves galloping off into the forest, as we slowly go back to the glade and just see that tree pulsing with light. Watch the massive eye peel open one last time. Energy humming through the iris. and the eyelid slowly droops and closes. And we just see the sea of this dragon encircling the tree, pulsing with light. I think we're going to end there tonight. I know it's a bit early, but this is kind of the end of this arc. And
Don't want to
yeah.
put in a no boss battle, just real
No,
quick.
no. I don't think that's going to happen tonight. No, because that is like a whole thing. Yeah. But yes, thank you everybody for joining us. We will figure out what happens with Lovelace at some point. Next week, we're thinking maybe we're gonna just take a break and play some Baldur's Gate 3 together. We're still kind of working out the details. It might be something else, but that's kind of the rough idea right now. So we hope to see you all next week, and thank you so much for joining us for this adventure arc, and thank you both for being great players. This was a lot of fun.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Nathan.
All right. Well, good night, everybody.
Good
Good
night.
night.